What's up, everybody? This is the road to Electric Paradise, and who am I sitting with?
Luvan.
Makeling.
All right, guys. So, obviously, this is a rave documentary that I'm doing that's leading up to my film called Electric Paradise, which I'll tell more details about that later on. So, with this documentary, I'm actually trying to put a positive outlook on the rave industry, the rave culture, the concert scene. Because if you think about it, when you hear rave, what do you think?
You think of just drugs and like lights and young people going crazy.
What about you?
Well, in the public eyes, it just looks like, yeah, like young people going crazy, wild, like basically throwing their life away type of thing. So, but to me, it's completely different.
So, like I said, I'm trying to put a more positive outlook. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. First question is, how long have you guys been a raver, and what made you want to become a raver?
Okay, so first started in 2016 when Micky and I first started dating, and we weren't 18 yet. I know we just turned 18. We were trying to find like a club-like setting to go to, and in December there's this place called Club Space, and there was a event there. We had no idea it was EDM related. We decided to go to because we wanted to help her out fix that void that we have not going to clubs. We went there and we saw that it was more than just like your generic club where guys try to dance on girls and, you know, people are just there on the sides. You look, it's like a concert where everyone's just focusing on the person playing and everyone's just jumping around and having a good time, and it really surprised us. And from this moment we're like, I like this, I want to keep doing this. And so we try to find the next one and the next one and the next one, and that's how it kind of all began.
Yeah, so basically the same thing, like, because we went through this together, and when I first went into the rave that we went at Club Space, like, it was completely different from what I was used to back at home in Texas. I would go to the club and it would be like Spanish music, and just everybody was there for the purpose to meet someone to go home with. And when we went to Club Space for this rave, it was completely different. Like, it was, people were there for the music, people were there for the experience, to meet other people, but as like friends, and other relationships and friendships were being built there. So
I was about to ask this anyway. Who, or I should say, what artist was at your first rave, if you can remember?
So it was a hardstyle genre VDM, and it's a well-known DJ called Headhunters, and he killed it. He honestly did.
You killed it? All right, so my next one is actually a little good question. So, if you were to give advice to people that are trying to get into the scene, they haven't been to a show or a festival, and they're like, oh my God, I just want to do it. And you see all these posts on Facebook in the group that we're a part of, EDC Orlando fam. Oh my, it's my first time, What advice would you give to first timers or first time ravers that are trying to get into the scene?
I suggest doing some background first. You know, there's a lot of YouTube videos of people going there, and those people have been at so many different types of events, and you can kind of see where they're coming from, see them have fun, and you could look up the artist and listen to their music for a bit. There's music videos, there's so many videos out there and resources you could use, and, you know, maybe try to go with someone who's been at it for a bit, and you could kind of live off of them and see if you can pick up something that you might like.
yeah, definitely. And then also, I guess, looking at what type of music you like, because if you go to an event with certain type of music and it's your first time, you don't want to go in with no idea whether this music is some type of other music that you don't like or that you do like or something like that. Like, you always want to know what you're getting yourself into before you go and do it. So I do recommend finding the type of EDM music that would best speak to you.
All right. So now here's the fun question. What was your best and your worst show you've been to so far since you've been raving?
All right, so best show, well, it was more like a festival. That was the best one, and it was in Ohio. It's called Lost Lands, and it's pretty much like a Jurassic Park mixed with really intense dubstep-like music, and that was an interesting vibe, and all the people there were great. The music was great, the production was great, and you really felt immersed in there. And the worst one, I guess one time in that same place, Club Space, there was this one big EDM DJ, and it was so overpacked, and it was so sweaty, and it was a nightmare actually. The music was great, but it was just way too overpacked. You could barely move, and you could actually feel the ground shake because it's on the second floor, and I honestly thought the whole place was going to collapse with the amount of people. But yeah, that was the worst for comfortable reasons.
For me, it was at that same festival. It was when Boogie T was performing, and it was just such a nice, like, mellow song that he was playing at the moment, and it just went beautiful with his images and the whole background of the sunset. It was just so nice. I felt really nice during that performance. And then the worst was when I had to wait 2 hours outside to actually get into the show. And then I had to pay $1 to use the restroom for toilet paper. This was that sick. It was at Club Cinema. It was at Club Cinema by Apex. But yeah, it just didn't make my experience very good there. But the actual place, the venue was nice. It's just, I guess the people that were running it didn't really run it very well.
And in case anyone wants to know, we're actually in South Florida. We're located in Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. So in case you're like, Club Space, or we're in South Florida. So just give everybody a heads up.
It's hot.
It's real hot today. Like 100 degrees outside. So here's another fun question. I'm pretty sure you guys actually like this one. So if you were a DJ, what branch of the EDM genre would you play, and what would your name be? And would you be a duo or solo artist?
Okay, so if I had to choose a genre, it had to be in the dubstep side for the amount of energy it produces, and there's so many subgenres of it, so it can be really intense or really melodic, kind of like a melody. And if I had to choose a DJ name, it had to be one I kind of do at times, because I used to be a mobile DJ. It was called Frizzen, Frizn, and it derives from the actual term frisson, which is a French meaning when you hear music that's so good that you actually get goosebumps and you feel like a tingle on your spine. It's produced by the emotion from the song going towards your brain, and it's called frisson. So I would put Frizn to make that DJ little difference, and I would be on the dubstep side, so my music would create that same feeling to anyone who listens to me.
So for me, the genre would be dubstep, but like it would be the combination of like Millennium and Slander, like around that genre. So like Heaven Trap, like trappy or dubstep. I never thought about a DJ name, so I don't really know. But if I really had to think about it, like out of the whim, it'd be Mickey's Paradise or something like that. I don't know exactly, but yeah.
So now here's a question I'm pretty sure a lot of first timers and not so many first timers get. So when you're going to a show or a festival, do you plan first and then buy the tickets, or do you buy tickets first and plan later? And why do you do that?
Well, you could be overwhelmed by the excitement when it comes out, but I honestly do suggest you have a game plan. At least have like a couple options, like plan A, B, and C, and then buy them, because you can always buy them and sell them later, but that can be a hassle sometimes. But if you do have a plan, buy them. But if you don't, you could buy it, but it's a gamble. But just think about what you can. Use your resources, and if you can get there, you can, and there's always a way, no matter what.
Yeah, like personally, I know that me and Luvan have always been very considerate with the future. Like, how are we going to get there? How much are we going to spend before the tickets even come out? To be honest, but I know a lot of people, they do buy their tickets in advance and figure out how they're going to get there after. And then if they can't, or like, something happens, life happens, they have to sell their ticket, then it's always doable. So.
Now, I'm just curious, cost-wise, what was the most you've done on the show? Because I'm going to say this, so far, between DC Orlando 2019, which by the way just went from 2 to 3 days, and also for Vegas next year with the 10th anniversary of them being in Vegas, I blew about $1,100 between both shows. So, yeah. So, how much have you spent? The most expensive show ever?
Well, 100% most expensive is Las Vegas. Not for the actual ticket-wise, but the whole planning. Because from Florida to Vegas, round trip was around in the 400 range, and the ticket was already in the 400, and we decided to camp because might as well be there instead of driving back and forth because of all the bad stories that we heard. And that's when split between 4 people, that's another 300, and then there's expenses and stuff, but not all of them are that expensive. But if I had to choose the most expensive one, that'd be it. Was the experience worth it? Yes, there's so much, but that's the one you really have to plan. But there are other options that are a lot more affordable than that.
Yeah, I feel like we are kind of blessed with being in Florida because of a lot of shows being in the area. We don't have to travel as much, and then like the people in California, they don't have to travel as much, it's like all there. So the most that we've ever had to spend was, a couple thousand, but but I can't say about anybody else because I know Ultra by itself, each ticket is $400, and just to get here, it's pretty pricey.
Yeah, extremely.
So, let me see. Wait, excuse me. It's a tongue twister. Rave wear, festival wear. I'm pretty sure you guys are dressed somewhat festival type. I don't know if you have any extra outfits with you or not. She's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So, which I have to change later. We can show it off. So, for rave wear, give some advice to first timers and veterans, because I'm pretty sure everyone's like, what do I want to wear? Like for guys, what do you think guys should wear? For ladies, what do you think ladies should wear? And just like your best outfit and your worst outfit.
Okay. So when it comes to rave wear, I mean, for guys, it's pretty simplistic, I mean, this is kind of like what I've worn to many places before. And for girls, it's pretty much like she'll answer that one. But a thing I guess it's kind of sad at times is that it creates a lot of anxiety for like the girls' side, because they feel like they have to wear a specific thing, but in reality, it's whatever you want, it's whatever most feasible to you, what's most comfortable. But for us guys, I mean, if it's an outdoor tank top, shirt, cool brands, Into the AM, or there's so many other Amazon shirtless, there's just so many, just anything with colors, the vibrant colors, anything that's related to the event that you're going to.
So I guess for girls, because he kind of covered the guy part, it's just whatever you're most comfortable with and whatever you think that would show your personality the best. We all have different personalities. We're all unique in our own way. And I guess just showing that to people is the best thing that you can wear. I know for me, I'm very confident with my body, so I show as much as I want, but not past that. And I don't know, just being comfortable within your own skin. So
my last question actually takes us into the film that I'm working on, called Edge of Paradise. The film is kind of sitting around 4 friends, and they all want to. Actually 6 friends in reality, and they all want to start their own festival, and they get that experience from going to EDC in Orlando in Vegas. And they were like, "Yo, we need to start our own festival." So if you and 4 of your other friends were like, "Hey, let's do our own festival," where would it be? Who would you have perform between 5 to 10 artists? And how much would you charge each patron? And would you do the tier stage or would you do a flat rate? Oh, and what would you call it? Oof.
All right, so that's a lot of questions at once, but if it'd be a festival, it'd be in a forest-like setting, and music genres would be a mixture, just a little bit for everybody, you know, some house here, some dubstep here, a couple mainstream artists, big room, and the tier part, I would do the tier, you know, because it does create anticipation, and it's a good marketing technique, and you get more profit from it, you know, so it shows how many tickets are selling, so you can get them fast. And the festival name, if anything, it would be around the elements, so earth, water, fire, wind, you know, and like each stage could be a different type of element, and it could be a different type of music style too, depending on what element you're choosing. And if I had to choose the artist, well, let's see, 5 artists, yeah, 5? 5. So we can have someone.
5 is a small festival, 10 is big.
Yeah, it'd be a big at first. So let's see. With 5 going big right now, of course, it'd be Millennium. We can bring in the Good Vibration Squad for the trappy feels. We can bring in some Excision for that crazy dubstep stuff. And that's the. If you want to go on the house side, Holy Goof, some good bass house right there. Jaws. And I can put in one more for one more. It's a tricky one. I'll get back to you on that one. I think I'll stick with 5 for now.
Well, I think for me, it would be really cool to have a festival on an island where, like...
So, like, I hate to mention this. What is that called? Fire Festival?
Fire Festival. That one.
Yeah.
I had to throw that in there because it was like the biggest failure. I'm sorry.
The one that got away.
But it would be really cool to have a festival on an island. Of course, you know, security and making sure everybody's okay and not in the water would be a very big thing to look over. But yeah, on an island would be really cool. I'd probably call it some type of like Hawaiian name, like music Hawaiian name, and then artists, just I guess like anything that goes with the feels of being on the beach or like when the sun sets, those clouds with the palm trees, things like that, like Lenium or Cascade, Seven Lions. Just like all of the feel-good artists, I guess. So.
And tiered pricing or flat rate? Oh, and how much?
I guess like for the tickets, it would be around the same price as every ticket would be. Like so, like around the $300-400 for the ticket. And if it is going to be camping because of it being on an island. So I guess the camping could go anywhere from like basic camping to glamping. So it could be anywhere from, I don't know, like 1,000 to like 3,000, But like each campsite could have 4 people, so it could be like $250 a person.
So did you think about that last artist yet?
The last artist? I mean, that Cascade one's pretty good, sunset feels, and if I had to think, he'd probably bring like an old school, like a Skrillex or a Rusko, it's for all the old school people.
I appreciate your time, guys, and we look forward to seeing more interviews later. Woo.
scene.
Quack.